So basically what my responsibilities are is to play the music for the show. So the bumpers, the bump outs, bump ins, the very famous think music over Final Jeopardy. And then as well as I have Ken's opening announcement when he walks out. And then I also have an end of round sound effects cue in case time's running out in Double Jeopardy and we have to cut it short. And then I also have clues on occasion. So on occasion, I may have one clue, I may have no clues, I may have 5 clues. It just depends on the actual show. I've done some where I have an entire category of audio clues. Our announcer, Johnny Gilbert's done some where he would read like rap lyrics and stuff, or he would do something from like a movie, like movie quotes. And I would have those here. So when they come up, you'll see the print come up on here, and then I'm playing it as well.
And so here, you're working off of Live.
Yes, I'm using Ableton Live. I'm working off this Behringer mixer, and I basically have everything match up to my Launchpad. So this is the Launchpad X. Everything lines up. You see on my Launchpad theme, I have theme here, VO, end of round, so 1-to-1. Mainly, I use these 3 faders for the show because I'm mainly playing music throughout the day, throughout the 5 shows that we tape in a day. When you hear Ken's announce voiceover, that comes from me, and that's this button right here. So,
and now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Ken Jennings.
And that's what it is. And then whenever I play bumper music, I have it off of my theme right here. So everything is. And then we just take that until we go to black, and then I'll fade it out. But of course, the very famous, it's pretty cool being able to play that. I mean, I can't lie, it's awesome. So that's the think music. And then that plays for, the 30 seconds, and here's the waveform right there. That's it right down there. That's what it looks like in all of its audio glory. I mean, iconic. It's so cool. So the Behringer is tied to my Ableton Live. And so when I move, like for example, the theme fader, when I move the theme fader here, you'll notice on the software itself, it will move as I move with it. They're connected through Mackie control. So as I bring it down, you see it moves. As I bring it up, you see it moves. And I have a little bit of headroom in case I need to push anything. What I try to do with my clues is keep them at a level where I have so much headroom that I can really kind of just push, I could push it if I need to. Because a lot of the clues that I play under Ken while Ken is doing his read. He may be saying something like, heard here is, a very popular video game in the 1980s or something, and I may be playing like a Donkey Kong sound effects or something like that underneath. And then once he's done reading, I'll push it a little bit, and then I wait till either somebody buzzes in or if the time's up, it hits. If somebody buzzes in, I fade the clue out, and then that's it. I'm done for that. The thing with the submix position is, as I've learned over time, is that there are 2 things you should always have in your arsenal. You should always be ready. You should always think of whatever could happen will happen, and always provide options if you're doing something. So if they say, no matter what show, this is what we're thinking, and you can go, okay, well, you're looking for this, this, and this, but here in my back pocket, I have this, or as a wild card, I have this. You may not like it, but I'm presenting it to you as an option. You should always be ready to do that as a submixer. And the other thing is how to work hand in hand with your production mixer. It's the most important thing, because my job is not to squash my production mixer's mix, right? Like I'm playing music and I'm playing effects and all this other stuff. I'm not the star of the show, right? I have to understand that what I'm doing here is I'm adding to it, but I'm not taking away from anything. When I learned that early on, I was like, okay, and I was fine. You get rhythms with your production mixers as you go. Carlos and I have gotten to that point where we've learned now, because we just met not too long, a couple of years ago. So you start building that work relationship, that friendship. You start learning about each other, and he gives great notes, and he's just great to work with. I've learned how I can do my music pushes based on what he's doing, based on what Ken's doing on the show. It's really cool. It's just like you feel like you're doing something together. You're getting the plane in the air, and you're now flying to your destination. Just so you know what this is. So this side right here is my program feed. And then if you go to the right, you'll see this is my game board. This is a digital version of it. As each of these clues get picked, they disappear. So I know where we are here. To the upper left over here, I have just a quad camera with some of the contestants, Ken, That's Ken's single. That's the Final Jeopardy shot right there. It's the jib, which is important because we do our bumper shots, which is like in between the third and fourth act. Going to Final Jeopardy, you'll hear my music playing over like a shot, and you'll hear Johnny go, Final Jeopardy coming up next. It's like a very short. That's what this jib camera does, so I kind of get to see what it is he's shooting. And obviously for Ken's single, very important for me for my cues, when we're going to commercial and such. And then this right here is what we call it's like a host view of the game. So this is kind of what Ken is seeing. So you see your contestants here, and then the green means that that's who's currently in control of the board. And then this will shrink down when we actually get into the game, and it will kind of go down to here, and you'll see this, but this is this, right? So you'll see this shrink down, and you'll see all the categories down here. And as each question comes up, it'll pop up here and it'll read out here what Ken's reading. And that's what that is. So that's important for me to know, because if I have audio clues and stuff in there too, I can also confirm where they're landing, what they are, when they're being called. I can go, okay, that's how this video works. We're gonna do a show. It's a rehearsal show, but we're treating it like you're doing it on the air. The only things we don't do is we won't rehearse the interviews. And then once that pretend game, we'll do Vinyl Jeopardy, the whole deal. We trade people out every 15 questions. And then once we're done with that, the crew goes on a little bit of a break while the contestants keep going and they keep doing more rehearsal games, I should say. And then that probably takes like another 20 minutes. And then when they're done, then everybody breaks, we set for show, and then we're off and running. Load the audience.
Rehearsal for every?
No, we do one rehearsal for the day. So we get all the contestants that'll be here for the day, and we get them going. And then, you'll see it. It's just one big rehearsal. It's like an hour long, and then we're done rehearsing, and then it's just gameplay the entire day. If the first show starts at 11:15 and we're done taping by 11:45, instead of waiting for 12:15, we may start the next show at noon or at 11:55. And
new audience or same audience?
Same audience. So we typically do 3 shows, lunch, 2 shows. First audience will come in, they'll sit through the first 3 shows, then we go to lunch, they go, and then we come back, and then 2 shows with the new audience, and then we're done.
So it'd be safe to say that you're like chief of vibes for Jeopardy. I mean, because timing, even split-second timing things really give the vibe of this whole show.
Yeah, when I had to learn early on, because, I'm jumping on this train, that has been going on for, 40 years, right? And the woman who did this position that I learned from, Barbara Hagan, had been doing the show for 30 years. So she knows everything about the show. So when she trained me on the show at first to fill in for her, she was fantastic about going, okay, giving me the ABCs on everything. So when I sat in the chair and I started to do the shows, I started to learn, okay, this is how this rhythm goes here. This is how you start learning how the show is, right? So once I started learning that, I started then kind of understanding, okay, the bumper music can go, we can go here. I could play it here. Because you don't want it too long, right? When we're going to commercial, it's basically like, I play it a little over Ken as he says, we'll be right back. And then we go full when we go to commercial, and then we kill it. So it's not a long, extended bumper music where you're playing it for a minute or 45 seconds. So what I learned is, I learned all the little cues that Ken says that I go, oh, this is it, boom. So he may say, okay, well, we're halfway done with the Jeopardy round. Here are the scores, but we'll be right back. And then, boom, I go in. I start playing music right under that. Or if he may say, that's the end of the Jeopardy round. Here are the scores. Bob, you have $1,000. You'll be picking first in Double Jeopardy. Boom. That's when I play the music. And then it's very short, and then we go. So it's just learning little things like that. It's great being here. The crew is fantastic. It's everything that I expected when I walked in the door that first day. First time I walked in here and I walked on that Jeopardy set, I was like, oh my God, this is like, I'm on the Jeopardy show. It's incredible. I'm really happy to be here, and everybody's been fantastic about welcoming me.